welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be working on this Craftsman air compressor. This is a 16-gallon air compressor. Now how I got this was I used to have a Husky 6-gallon air compressor, and when I did the demonstration for my sandblaster cabin, that air compressor was not enough to actually be capable to push that much PSI all at the same time to keep up pressure. So what I had to do, I had to get a bigger one. So my colleague at work is a woodworker, and he wanted to get a smaller air compressor, and I needed a bigger one. So we actually didn't even trade. The only issue is this thing leaks from the valve and it's full of water. Now, for those of you who own an air compressor, there is a bleeder valve at the bottom of every air compressor that you buy. They all have it, and that is to basically drain the water that collects in the air in the tank. If you do live in a humid area like we do, these air compressors collect water a lot, and what it does is starts to rust out inside the air compressor, and it's also really bad for your tools, because what happens is these water particles kind of flow in through your tools and cause them to rust and seize, and you know, it's just a disaster. So one issue was this was leaking. Second issue is the bleeder valve is broken, so I had to hunt down the bleeder valve for this particular air compressor. This is an old one. This is not a new one. This, according to him, this was refurbished by somebody. I have not turned it on. What I'm going to do first is drain the water and then fix the leak, because I know that most of the fixings here are loose. It does have two heads, which I'm going to just condense it into one. I don't need two of them because I only have one size hose and fitting, so I don't need both of them. So I'm just going to make everything clean, nice, tighten it up a little bit, clean it up a little bit, plug it in, and turn it on, see everything works. But the main reason for this video is basically draining your tank. So I don't know, I've had other tanks that I've drained and rusty water will come out. I'm hoping just rusty water comes out. I don't know what color this water is going to be, but I'm open for the surprise. So stay tuned. Let's see what we're going to do. Alright guys, so I think I got about a gallon of water out of this thing, and the water was very murky and muddy, which leads me to believe that this thing, there's more stuff in here, because as you guys saw, there was a lot of things I had to poke for the water to come out. So what I'm gonna do that I really didn't want to do is basically take the whole thing out, take the whole thing apart, and do a full restoration on this thing. Basically, there's only one screw that goes in there for the air, one screw there, so it shouldn't be that hard. But I'm gonna take it apart. I really didn't want to do this, but I'm gonna have to do it because I want to make sure the tank is fully clean before I put it together and put more air in it. Because if I don't wash the tank thoroughly, I'm gonna take it outside, wash it with the hose, make sure that all the mud, everything is out, and make sure it's just getting clear water out of this thing. And hopefully that'll be it. Hopefully that'll wash everything up. But yeah, I thought it was going to be a cutthroat situation, but it's not. So let's take this apart. Let's see what other surprises it's in it for us. So let's go do it. Okay guys, what I discovered, let me see if I can get this focused. There's a crack in this nut right there. So which means this never sat sealed and it caused the leak, perhaps. So I'm gonna have to get some new fittings for this. Also, some new gasket for this right here. There's a plastic gasket in here. Let me see if I can get it out. Okay, there's a gasket in there that I need to take out, but I'm gonna take out the motor, take it off. I'm not gonna take this thing off because it goes just straight through. There's nothing in here that I need to basically take off. I might take off the small nut right here, this small fitting, but the rest it could stay there. I don't need to take this off. I'm gonna take it outside, wash it through, see how much more crap is gonna come out of it. So stay tuned. Alright guys, so the machine turned on, but I had to take this apart when I was cleaning up and all that stuff. Then I realized that there's a gasket here in between this section. This is where the pressure builds up and all that stuff, and this has a leak. And I can't find a replacement for this, so what I had to do was actually purchase another switch to replace this one. So the only difference is this has a release valve right here to let air out. This one doesn't. I'm hoping this will work just fine, but I'm gonna have to test it out. So I'm gonna have to see if this is actually gonna work or not. So when I put these together, I'm hoping this will work. I'm hoping this is gonna work. And also, the bottom is different, so I have to actually get an extra piece right here for this. It's like a little extension, so it's gonna sit like this. It's gonna sit a little bit higher than what this used to sit. So we're gonna make sure this little aluminum tube, this aluminum tube needs to fit in here. So let's see how things work out. I'm hoping everything will work out just fine, but bear with me. Let me put these through, let me put these in and see how things work out. So stay tuned. It's alive. There we go. So now this thing has a little leak, but that's okay. I'm gonna put a little silicone wrapper on this and it should fix the problem. Other than that, it's actually stopped at 130 PSI. Let me So this works, but this one's leaking. But other than that, it looks pretty good. This looks that it was put together fine, minus the small leak. Alright guys, so as you saw, the old one was leaking air, it was bad, and you know, all that mumbo jumbo, so I had to get a replacement. Unfortunately, I couldn't find the exact replacement, so I had to resolve for a generic one. So I'm going to use a generic one, put it on here. This one has newer gauges on there. It does have a newer pressure adjustment knob, so everything's new. So I have to do what's the word I'm looking for? I got to be a little bit more creative as far as how I'm going to fit all specifically this pipe, and so bear with me. Let me see what I'm going to do with this thing. I hope I could do this correctly and, you know, without a headache, but overall I don't think it should be a problem. So first we're going to start out with this piece, then we'll add the other piece to it. All right, this switch is off. Here we go. Alright guys, so the leak has stopped. I'm so excited, and I needed my wife's good luck charm and her hand. Literally, it was her that made this thing stop leaking. So this has no leaks. I'm gonna run it real quick. As you can see, it has air. I sprayed it with soap water. Nothing's leaking. So I'm gonna run a little bit more.
Why do you need to compress air?
So I could use it for some of the tools. Alright guys, so this thing works. No leaks, and we're good. I want to tighten this back up, make sure, put all the covers back on, and we're good.
Wait, how did it even break?
I didn't break, I broke it.
Why'd you break it?
Because if I don't break things, I can't fix them. Make sense?
Yeah.
All right, say bye to everybody.
Bye.
Dance.